Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Mega Man X for the Wii Virtual Console. Enter this password and we get to see the title, the stage select screen here. We have 2 remaining Mavericks, and X is gonna start off by being an exterminator and taking out this bug, the Kuwanger. It's like a beetle, and he is weak to the homing missile that we just picked up from Launch Octopus. So his stage is mainly vertical. I mean, it makes sense. He's in a tower if we look at the map there. So once again, we're gonna get a lot of use out of our Storm Tornado here. Takes care of these knights and these these turrets. The turrets, like when you try to shoot them, they try to move out of the way. They're kind of like the armors in Ghosts and Goblins, where when you try to shoot them, they try to avoid your shots. So, but the Storm Tornado, because it hangs out on the screen for a little bit, they tend to move into it. So, you have these little enemies there. If you touch the laser, it brings those enemies to life and they shoot a laser at you. So, just be careful and you'll be fine. We got more of these turtles, but we know how to take care of the turtles. Hit them with some air. So, we got a vertical section coming up here. You can use our rolling shield. Use the shield, and we're gonna get these those helicopter enemies that laugh at you if they hit you, and they'll just run into the shield and be defeated. So all you have to do then is just avoid the spikes. And luckily the elevator goes slow enough that it's pretty easy to avoid the spikes. And the shield is still holding out, which would be good for this section here because there's going to be some ladders and turrets that pop out. And on the ladders, there's going to be these bugs. Guess that makes sense. I mean, it's a beetle, so it must have other bugs in this stage. And the shield still doing a lot of good work. So block that turret's attack. So now some enemies, if they hit the shield, just ruin it real quick, but like this guy, that turret, but those bugs, not so much. Now you want to charge up the ice sled here. Now there's a way you can get this without it, but it's a real tricky jump, but it's easier to just make an ice sled and then jump up off the ice sled, and you can grab the heart piece. And you can see, if you have all the heart pieces, well, we're still lacking one more, but eventually what happens is the heart pieces, your life meter will actually be higher than your weapon meter, so that's how you can know if you're getting all the heart pieces or not, so. Just trying to find a good weapon here. Ice can destroy stuff pretty quickly. The homing missiles are also good for defeating these enemies that are flying around. And I'm having trouble dashing here. This is why I'm not good at action games. Sometimes I have trouble hitting buttons. My bad fingers. So, there we go. You can also use the Storm Tornado. If you charge it up vertically, it creates that vertical tornado, and that can take out enemies above you. See that cannon there? It's moving out of the way. Got these annoying helicopter platforms. They're going to be really annoying later on in the Sigma stages. Kind of like Dr. Wily, when you defeat the 8 Mavericks, you go on to Sigma's fortress. Sigma has a fortress that he lives in, has a bunch of stages. So, Kuwanger, he kind of teleports around the room, he throws his horns at you. If they hit you, obviously you take damage, and he charges at you, and if he hits you when he charges at you, he grabs you and he throws you up against the ceiling. So, but not too bad of a boss. You can almost, because the homing missiles, you can kind of hang up on the wall and just shoot the homing missiles from the wall, and you're pretty safe on the wall. He won't be able to hit you with his charges. He can still hit you with the horns that he throws at you, but a lot of times if you hit him with the homing missile, it will interrupt him throwing the horn, so you're still pretty safe. So we got the boomerang cutter here. And we've cleared out Kuwanger's stage. So now only one more to go. We go to Sting Chameleon, but first, let's do some cleanup here. I said we wanted to come back to this stage once we had the boomerang cutter, because we'll get our last sub-tank. So we're going to go on the bottom here. We went up top, that's the way to get through the screen, but if we go on the bottom here, we'll come to a dead end, and at the end of the dead end, you'll notice there's a sub-tank beyond the wall. Can't get it normally, but we can get it by shooting the boomerang cutter at it. Just gotta climb up. There we go. And it'll pull it toward us, and we got it. So, yeah, see what there's the charged up shot of it. It just shoots, whatchamacallit, 3 green things. And the charged up homing missile shoots like shellfish, like kind of like how Launch Octopus shot. Speaking of Launch Octopus, if you defeat Launch Octopus before coming to Sting Chameleon stage, you'll be able to get the heart container. You'll see when I get to the point where the heart container is, it'll be in a room filled with water. That water is not there if you didn't defeat Launch Octopus. So we'll also be getting the armor, the last upgrade for X in this stage. Got those lumberjack robots again. Guess it makes sense they're in the woods. Gotta watch they're really tough to see. There's like those little caterpillars that that bush robot shoots out. So, some life. You have to have the dash boots here to... Ooh. Well, the dash, but this is the room that wouldn't be filled with water. So, you want to... Once again, it's kind of annoying. You gotta hit it with your head, but it's kind of difficult to do. But eventually just stick with it and eventually you'll get to it. So, now I'm charging my weapon here because in order to get back, you're gonna need to use that ice sled. So we're gonna destroy all those blocks there. Do a nice dash across, and we got the heart. And just make the little ice sled coming up here. Hop on it, ride across, and then jump across, and we're safe. Now, I was saying earlier is we're going to get to the top here. We're going to do a dash jump, grab onto that wall, and get into a little mini arena. We're going to use the boomerang cutter. That's the weakness of this little mini boss. You have to hit his little eye there on the head. Otherwise, he looks like these little smiley faces. He has 2 eyes, and then like it looks like the top row of teeth there. But just jump up, and the boomerang will hit him in the eye. Once you defeat him, a capsule will rise from the ground. And we'll get our last upgrade, or the last regular upgrade, the body armor, which cuts damage in half by 50%. So, yeah, you're basically doubling your life. So, yeah, with all the hearts that we got, and then now the body armor, X is going to be a defensive powerhouse. And you got a new, shiny little color scheme to him there. He looks much more powerful. Alright. We got these little Gutsman type robots. They're like Gutsmen. They, if they stay on the screen long enough, they'll summon a rock and they'll throw a rock at you. I guess they're also like those robots in Mega Man 3 and Dr. Wily's stage. I think Dr. Wily 4, the little junk robots. They pop out of the ceiling and they throw rocks at you. So you just take our time. Luckily, by the time that they fully form and are vulnerable, you can charge up your Buster shot and take them out with a fully charged Buster. Why are they making all these animals robots? Why don't you decide to make a robotic woodpecker, you know, or a robotic bush? I don't know. But hey, we get another big robot here, pink robot. You can run across here. Good, it allows us to save some energy. Any of these things drop energy, we can help refill up our sub-tanks. Although after this, we'll be going to Armored Armadillo stage to get that hidden upgrade and to refill our sub-tanks. Yeah, keep jumping out. Yeah. the mud, you just sink into it. It slows you down, but it, you know, it doesn't damage you or anything like that. So, riding our robot. And unfortunately, we can't take the robot into the boss fight. In Mega Man X4, you can fight one of the Mavericks, Magma Dragoon, in a robot suit. So it's pretty neat. So here is Sting Chameleon. And we can almost stun lock him if you get a good pattern. You hit him with the boomerang. And just turn around, shoot the boomerang again. And I'm kind of messing up the pattern a little bit, but I think I got it here now. Yep. If you get it, timing right, he won't be able to do anything. So you stun lock him, similar to how you stun locked Spark Mandrill with the ice. But you're not literally freezing him, you're just getting him stuck in like an AI loop. So once you defeat the 8 Mavericks, we're going to get a little cutscene with Zero. So he's going to talk about Sigma's Fortress and, you know, infiltrating it. But before we go to Sigma's Fortress, like I said, we're going to do some cleanup in the other stages. So one of the weird things about Zero is I used to think that was like a cape on him, but that's actually his hair. I don't know why why does a robot need hair? I don't know, it's weird, but so Zero has a weird story, actually. It turns out that Zero is actually created by Dr. Wily. Dr. Light made X, Wily made Zero. And apparently, I may be wrong here, but I think the lore is that in Mega Man 8, there's this evil energy that comes from space, and Dr. Wily gets it. And he uses that evil energy to create what is known as the Zero virus. And that is what he infects Zero with. And then some people speculate that, you know, Zero goes crazy because he wasn't put in the... unlike X, he wasn't put in the, you know, 30-year chamber to test the systems. And, you know, he's the one who destroys, like, the original Mega Man and destroys Dr. Wily and Base, and he goes crazy. Because what happens is then Sigma, Dr. Kane is a doctor, and he finds X's capsule. And he uses X's capsule. He just, you know, uses X's design to create his own Mavericks, or his own robots that are called Reploids, based on X. And those are the ones that, like, you know, the Armored Armadillos, the Sting Chameleon, etc., Sigma and stuff like that. And Sigma, I guess, is the pride and joy. He's the leader of the Maverick Hunters. And Sigma actually encounters Zero and fights Zero, and is basically being defeated by Zero. But in a desperation attack, he punches Zero in the head, and Zero has a little crystal on his head, sort of how, like, X has a little crystal on his helmet. And that's where the evil energy was. And what happens is, when he defeats, when he smashes that crystal, it releases the evil energy from Zero, and then Zero becomes a good guy, but the evil energy gets transferred into Sigma. So Sigma's kind of like a tragic hero. He saves the world from Zero, but in doing so becomes the villain himself, and Zero becomes a hero, so... But speaking of heroes, we have one more visit with Dr. Light coming up here, and you need to have all of the heart pieces, all the sub-tanks, all the upgrades, the dash, the legs, the helmet, the arm, and the body armor. So you can see how much damage that thing takes without the, the fire. But basically what ends up happening is, if you have all those conditions, at the end here, we're gonna go to that one spot, and you have to go there like 5 times, I believe it is. So basically what happens is you just basically see that spot, then you jump in the pit, and you restart the stage, and you just keep doing it over and over again. You start at a checkpoint, doink, yeah, fall down, and we just keep doing that, and eventually, like I said, this capsule will appear. And he is dressed like Ryu from Street Fighter. and he gives you the special hadoken move, which is a move in Street Fighter. You shoot a fireball, you press down, down, forward, and then forward, like a little quarter circle with your finger, and then hit the attack button. The hadoken pretty much destroys everything in one hit, but I am terrible at it, so I will not be using it. You have to have full energy to use it, though. So yeah, I've been trying to use it this whole time, and you see I just keep moving forward and shooting. That's me trying to do that motion. I do not play fighting games. I'm terrible at them, because I can't do those motions. So we will not be doing that. We will not be using the hadoken. But we will be heading to Sigma's Fortress in the next episode. Take care, have a good day. Bye!